Hola Estrellitas, Farrah here from the Estrella Fashion Report. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Today I want to start a new series with you guys called The Business of Blogging. And I hope to bring you a few episodes with some great information that I've learned along the way as a blogger. Actually, I also wanted to tell you guys that I've been in customer service for a very long time, probably about 20 years. Since I got my first job, that's what I always done, customer service, HR, and I worked for big companies, a lot of great companies, and I learned a lot along the way. Some of the things that I learned have actually helped me in my blogging career. This is something that I just started like 5 years ago, and I get a lot of questions about things to do with how do I do this, how do I do that with a blog. So I figure I'll just put it all together in a video and do a series of episodes. That way you guys can catch up, and hopefully they will help you. Our first episode is going to be called How to Properly Conduct Business Online. How to properly conduct business online. Well, to get you started, I'm going to give you guys 5 tips to get going. The first tip is going to be an email signature. Recently, I had a big brand actually reach out to me through email, and they wanted to conduct business, of course, for the blog. They wanted me to do something to promote their brand. And I noticed that that person didn't have an email signature on their email. Well, as you guys know, there's so much fraud going on the internet nowadays. I figure that it's really important for you guys to get one. I had an email signature on my email for many, many years. I update it all the time, if I change my phone number or if anything has changed, which very rarely, hardly ever I had to do that, but I did have to update it a few times. But anyways, to make a long story short, get an email signature because it's very important. First of all, is going to save you a lot of time, because when you are emailing a brand and they don't know who you are, usually everything is on the email signature, and they can just go straight to it and kind of like verify you. That's how I say. So like, let's say if you put in your website under your name, your phone number, your Instagram handle, your Twitter handle, or whatever, that company can click on those and they can actually verify you and see, okay, yeah, they have an Instagram account, it's proper, and all those things. Not to say that anybody could copy you and nowadays anybody could do that and fake it, but if you're a legitimate business, that's usually one of the first things that I check. I get hundreds of emails every day from companies from China, from a lot of like fake accounts for Instagram, or people trying to sell me things from Africa, saying that I have some inheritance or something like that. I won some kind of lottery. There's all kinds of fake emails going on out there, and so it's very important that you legitimate your business, and an email signature is going to do that. Another thing that's good about the email signature, in my opinion, is that it saves me a lot of time. If you're a brand that I don't know, I'm not familiar with, and you email me and you say, hi, I'm Mary from XYZ, and you have all the information about your brand on your signature, I can just click on it and verify you, kind of like, okay, well, this is legitimately Mary from XYZ. So again, like I said before, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. You also have to do your homework, but it does save me a lot of time, because if it is a legitimate company and I'm clicking on it, I can actually see if it's a brand that will fit with my blog, if it's something that I would want to pursue. I can definitely go from there. I'd be like, okay, I'm excited, I like this company, let me continue. Or I could just reply, you know what, you're not a good fit for my company, thank you so much. And instead of doing that in like 5 or 6 emails, you could do it right away. The second thing is, how did you hear about us? So if a brand reaches out to you, and or you're reaching out to a brand, it's always good to find out how they hear about you. I get emails all the time, and like I said, the brand said, oh, we love your blog, and XYZ. And after I verify them, I will go and ask them, oh, thanks so much for reaching out. How did you hear about us? Okay, here's one reason why you should do that. First of all, you will want to know if it's a referral, like if somebody referred you, like another blogger or another person. You will want to reach out to that person and actually thank them for the referral. So if it's a friend, you can reach out to your friend and say, hey, thanks for looking out for me, I appreciate you. If it's a client, you can just send a nice thank you card and say, hey, thank you so much for referring me to XYZ company, I really appreciate you. So those things go a long way, and I like to know, how did this company hear about me? Another thing is, what if they heard about me from Instagram or from Twitter? Like if they saw something that somebody shared, or like, I'm interested to know how they found out, because then I can put more resources into that and I can pay more attention to it. For example, lately I'm getting a lot of traffic from Pinterest. So if I get a referral from Pinterest, then guess what? I'm gonna continue working and pin stuff and create boards, and if I'm getting a lot of traffic or referrals from a particular board, then I'm gonna work that board and add more stuff to it and just go into it and maybe fix it up, update it. Just like if it's an article, I'm gonna go look at the article, make sure that I'm good, that I'm updated, that I have my links in there, everything that I need to have. So that's another way. It helps you with your analytics, and it also helps you to know, what's working. So like if you're getting a lot of referral from Instagram, then you're going to put a lot more effort into Instagram because you are getting results from it. And then you'll be able to know, okay, you know what? Pinterest doesn't work for me. Instagram does, because I'm getting a lot of traffic from there, or I'm getting a lot of business from there. So it is always a good thing to ask, how did you hear about us? The third thing that I wanted to say is professionalism. After you spoken to the client, you signed contracts, you've done, they emailed you with instructions of everything that you need to do, then you of course want to make sure that you turn in your blog post or your work, whatever it is that you're doing for them, on time. There's usually timelines or deadlines that you have to meet, so just make sure that you are following everything to a T. Before you post, make sure that you read that contract or whatever they send you, an email with instructions to the T, to make sure that you check mark everything. If they ask you to post before 12 o'clock, if they ask you to put a link somewhere, just make sure that you are doing exactly what the client asks. That way they don't have to come back to you and say, oh, can you update this or can you update that? Not that that's a problem, but if you do it right the first time, it's just more efficient. And of course they will love working with you, because they're like, you know what, we only had to send it to her one time and she got it. So that's very important. So make sure you turn in that on time. Also, make sure that you're clear on what you're going to do. Ask questions, because a lot of times you think is one thing and then the client is thinking something else. So make sure that you know what the client's expectations are and that you know exactly what it is that they want you to do. Of course, awesome photos. Remember, we are fashion bloggers, or if you're in a different type of business, make sure that whatever it is that you are doing, you're doing it properly, you're doing it well, you're properly dressed. And of course, proofreading is also major. You also want to make sure, especially if it's a blog post, that you are proofreading everything. Make sure that everything is spelled correctly, including the client's name. That's really, really important. I've seen some sponsor posts and the client's name is spelled wrong. That's a big no-no. And of course, it's a big turnoff for the client, because they're like, hey, I'm paying her. She doesn't even know what her name is. So that's kind of a big no-no. So just make sure that you proofread everything and you read everything. Then the number 4 tip will be follow-up. Of course, after you have done everything, you turn it in, your client, oh, thank you so much, we received it. Make sure you follow up with them. Make sure that they're very happy, that you've done everything that you can to make them happy. And so it's very important that you do that follow-up, not just post and forget about it. Send them an email, let them know, hey, listen, I posted, here's the link, this is what I did, XYZ. And then my last tip for this episode is going to be file and pitch. It's something that I call file and pitch because First of all, a lot of bloggers contact brands and they work with them one time, and let's say they pay them $500 and that's it, bye-bye. They forget about them. Well, guess what? This is now a business relationship and it's your duty to maintain it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna file, or you're gonna copy this person's email and information, create a spreadsheet with all of your clients, and create a little file for yourself with all your clients' names. And if anything helps you remember who this client was or what you did for them, then do that. Like put a little note to yourself, like I did an article for them or an Instagram post or whatever the case may be. That way you remember what you did for this client when you reach back up to them. And then they feel good that you remember, oh, you know what, we worked together on XYZ campaign, and I was just following up with you. And pitch, what I mean by that is you file all those contacts because eventually you're gonna need them. As a blogger, you don't just sit here and wait for opportunities to come to you. You have to make your own opportunities. Remember, we are self-paid, self-hosted, and we have bills to pay, you know? And if you're trying to do this on your own, unlike journalists who get paid by their papers, you know, CNN or whatever websites they work for, we get paid by ourselves. We pay ourselves. We don't have anybody else paying us other than our clients. So this is how you make business. You create pitch, you create opportunities for yourself, and that's why you save all of those contacts so that you can keep an eye on their websites. You can go look and see where you can make a difference and how you can work with them again. So if you go on their website and you see that they have a new product that they launched and you want to try it, then you put a proposal together, you pitch it to them, and you send them an email, and then hopefully you can work with them again since they reached out to you, and you know, hopefully you made a great impression and you can continue building that relationship. So I am a big person in building relationships. To me, that's the key to your blogging business. So file and pitch is very, very important. Also, from time to time, you know, drop them a line, you know, hey, how are you? Just kind of let them know, hey, I'm here. Don't forget about me. You know, just kind of follow up because people come and go. And so you might have a new person in the office, or a new person came in and that person that you used to work with is already gone. So you have to make sure that you keep those relationships and those contacts. That way you can continue to work with those brands and make that money. And last thing, this is kind of like a bonus item, is don't conduct business on social media like Facebook and things like that. A lot of people approach me on Facebook and Instagram, and that's great. You can do the initial approach on Facebook and Instagram, but take it to your email. First of all, you want to look professional, and that's how professional people do it. And you also want to keep a record of all those conversations in case something in the future comes up. Then you have proof of what actually happened. So the first thing that I will say is, yes, a lot of times you don't have the PR company or the contact person for that particular brand. So yes, you can reach out to them on Facebook, but say, hey, I am X, you know, so-and-so from, you know, I'm Farrah from the Estrella Fashion Report, for example. I'm trying to reach out to your PR company, or I'm trying to reach out to your marketing person, whatever the case may be. And, you know, who can I contact? Can I have that person's email or something like that? And then if they respond back to you and tell you, oh yeah, the person that you need to reach out is Mary, you know, whatever Smith, here's her email, then you can properly introduce yourself through an email. So never conduct business on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Yes, you can, like I said, yes, you can send the original contact first through social media, but take it to email after. Well, those were my 5 tips, guys, and they were email signature, how did you hear about us, professionalism, follow up, and file and pitch. So I hope that you guys get some great information from this, that it helps you. It is coming from a great place. I've been blogging for about 5 years. Like I said, I've been in customer service for about 20 years since I had my first job. So I've got plenty of experience on customer service, and working with clients is one of my biggest strengths. So I did wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope that it helps you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, tell your friends, share, follow me on social. You guys know how to find me, Estrella Fashion Report. And until next time, live, love, and inspire. Bye.